The funny thing is I was never supposed to do this. I was never meant to do this career. I never had a passion for content, whatever. It grow quicker if you just work really hard on one thing, even if it's the thing that brings you to failure, because otherwise you wouldn't have done anything. Because like you need to double your failure if you want to double your success. Once you share your opinion, a lot of people are scared to do it because a lot of people are scared to be controversial or say something about a topic because then they're like, oh, but what if? No matter how low you feel or no matter how far away something looks, it's as long as it's your passion, it's always worth chasing and it's always going to work out. If you have any sort of feeling you want to do something or you want to chase something, you want to do something different, that you don't belong where you are now, don't be scared to share it with your surroundings and chase it. Just like people need you, but you just don't know it yet.
Yes, welcome to a new episode of the podcast Muscle Up. My name is Jim Pistone.
My name is Mees Jansen.
And this is episode 5?
6.
6 already in Bali. The end of Bali is coming. We are here for 4 more days. And then we're going back to Balanda. I would like to thank you guys for the support. Give us a 5-star review on Spotify. If you like the content and subscribe, then you can stay up to date with all our latest episodes. I think let's start with how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah? How's your day been?
Nice, relaxed day. Slept in a little bit because we had a little bit of arak yesterday. But yeah, went to the gym, went to the sauna, ice bath, worked a bit, and now we have a podcast. So nice. I'm doing good. Nice. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good as well, man. Woke up around 8:50 or something. It's pretty late. Then went to the gym, had a nice leg day with Manon. Shot some content, ate some brunch with Elise and Manon. And I got some food after again. It was really nice. But we're not not alone today.
What up, guys?
What is your name?
My name is Cas Verdy, known as Cas Verdy, and I'll be here for the podcast.
Nice,
doing some explaining a little bit about myself, getting to know you guys a little bit more. So,
of course. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Today was a good day. The last couple of days I've been waking up way too late, but this morning I woke up at 7, went for a paddle straight away, and had lunch at this super scenic spot with view over the rice fields, like just outside of Canggu.
What's the name?
Which is way better. I'll send to you after. No, I don't know the name, to be fair, but it's like 10 minutes out, and then you're like outside of the city. So beautiful. So and now here to the podcast. So great
nice,
day.
Man. Maybe a little bit of explanation how we got you here. I'm still wondering why, but Manon sent you a message, right?
Yeah.
If you wanted to hop on a podcast.
Yeah. So I met Manon like I don't know, like a couple of weeks ago, or we just bumped into each other, and then the other day I was working at a cafe, and then she walked in, and then she mentioned the podcast, or we started talking, and then she asked me some questions about like who I am, what I do, my story, and the moment I told that, she was like, "Yeah, that might be interesting for the Muscle Up podcast boys." So that's nice. How it went, and then you guys reached out after she told about me, and then now we're here.
That's nice, man.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to jump on the podcast?
Because I mean that's why I do why I make content, why I do everything that I do, is to inspire people and to get my thoughts and my opinions out there, because I feel like there's a lot of people that can take advice from that, or that can like learn something from it, or maybe they don't, but then they hear my opinion and they're like, oh, so I was right, he's wrong, who knows. But yeah, I always love to inspire people, and I think the more you get your voice out there, it's good. And when I saw that your podcast was about like also building up projects, building up your own stuff, inspiration, like all the stuff that I'm also like excited about. That's what you guys talk about. So
nice,
good to hear.
Yeah.
For the people who don't know you, what do you do?
Now I mostly do social media, and I'm a videographer. So I do content creation all around. And yeah, that's what I've been doing for the last, I would say, 1.5, 2 years. And that's mostly it. Just content creation all around.
Nice. How did you start into this line of work?
That was 3 years ago. The funny thing is, I was never supposed to do this. I was never meant to do this career. I never had a passion for content, whatever. I didn't touch a camera or whatever till like 1.5 years ago. But I got really depressed in the Netherlands, and then decided that the first thing that I needed to do was get out. I didn't know what I was gonna do, but I just knew, okay, I just need to have a little bit of a fresh start, get out. And then I decided to move to Bali, since I went here in 2018, and a place has never felt like home as quick as here. So I was like, okay, if there's one place that's gonna make me somewhat feel better, it's here. Moved here and then started posting daily on my Instagram, but that wasn't to grow. That was just to have like a goal every day to hopefully get rid of the depression or like fight the depression. So yeah, I just wanted to have a goal, like have that feeling of fulfillment every day. So it was a small goal. Like the videos were absolute shit. They were so bad. But the fact that I got a video up every day, even if it was a one clip, was like that fulfillment of like, okay, I did something today. I kept my promise to myself, and then slowly got out of that. And after a really long time of posting, 2 videos blew up, and I was like, damn, I've seen people like make careers out of this, because I gained a couple followers. I was like, I've seen people do this, and I like travel. I like making videos now. I discovered that, because before that I'd never made a video. And then I was like, yeah, let's try to do this. Like, it's 2 things I like combined. See if I can make it a career.
There are a lot of things that I want to jump in on, but I'm recently I started making content or taking content more seriously.
Yeah.
But I don't have any experience with a camera or whatsoever. What are a few tips that you could give a beginner with a camera?
Honestly, just film whatever. Like it's a lot of people overthink the concept or whatever, but the only way you're gonna get better is by making so many videos. Like I posted daily for well over a year. Now I don't anymore. I'm getting back into it, but I posted daily for well over a year. The first half a year, I had no results, nothing. Like I went from 200 to 600 followers. Like 180 posts, 400 followers. It's nothing. Like if you ask your friends and family, you can probably reach that already. So it's it's literally just doing it. And also a lot of people, when they want to get into content creation or whatever, they put an excuse on the gear. I did everything in the start with an iPhone 12 mini. It doesn't matter what gear you have. You don't need a camera. You don't need a crazy drone or whatever. Everyone has a phone. That's enough. Like, it's not about the quality. It's about quantity and just the story you're telling.
Okay. What kind of videos did you start out making? Were you just like showing your day?
Yeah, it was, man, they were so bad. It was, when I was at a waterfall, I would travel around the island a lot. So I bought a bike and I would just drive around because nature made me happy. So I just wanted to be in nature, driving around, and then making videos of it. So when I would be at a waterfall, I was alone, so I would literally just ask a stranger to hold my phone, and then while I would run up to the waterfall, I would ask them to film me and then like pan away to the top to fade away slowly after I was looking up. So I would like run, look up, and then the video would fade away, 10-second clip, boom, done. That was it. And it would like be the most random strangers, a lot of the times like 40, 50-year-olds who don't know much about that whole content creation, who made all my videos. But like I said, because my goal was never to grow, I never cared about the quality. It was just the fact that I was doing it, like the fact that I put myself to making the video and posting it, that was what it was about. So I didn't care about the performance, which is holding me back now, because now I'm worrying every time too much about the performance, since it has consequences now and it's more serious. Although it shouldn't matter, like I should still just push out whatever because it's my account, it doesn't matter. But now now I'm doing what what I'm telling people not to do.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's ironic.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a classic for creators. I feel like all creators, once they get a little bit bigger or whatever, it's like you all get into this phase where you just start overthinking way too much what you're posting and what you're doing. You have to just as you get over that again. Like it's that second stage of like you have that before you start, then you get over it, and then once it gets serious, you have that whole phase again. You just go back into it.
Would you do anything differently if you had to start over?
I don't think so. No, I don't. I would have done things maybe a little bit different after it became more serious and after stuff started growing. But for the starting phase, I don't think so. Since I don't know what other way would have been better to get me out of my depression, and that's what that big start, like the beginning phase, was for. So I don't think anything else would have made it even better because I got out of my depression. So that was goal number one. So the fact that I achieved that was, I don't know.
Yeah. Could you take us maybe a little bit through your storyline? You lived in the Netherlands. You were unhappy. What did it look like?
I was. I think it started around like when I was 16 and a half years old, somewhere around that, between towards 17. That I realized afterwards. In the beginning, that's the thing with depression, is in the beginning you don't realize you're slowly drifting into it, and then when you realize, oh shit, like it's really not going well, you think back and you're like, oh damn, I've actually not been feeling good for like I've been slowly drifting into this for like a year already. So I realized that something was like really wrong around like mid 17. And then I was in VWOS, V6, and then I was in my last year of high school, and I had like 3 months left of the year till the final exams, and then I almost dropped out because I just couldn't handle it anymore. And one conversation with my German teacher, she managed to convince me to push through those 3 months, graduated, and then left right away because like I said, that was the first thing like. Needed to get out.
Yeah, I saw your post about your storyline.
Yeah.
And what made you share your thoughts with this German teacher?
The fact that she pointed it out. She was the first one to point out that I wasn't feeling well. No one knew, since I've always been this smiley, happy guy that brings energy into the group and whatever. And I still was in my depression. But she was the first one that after a lesson, she said out of nowhere, "Hey, Cas, can you stay for like five more minutes?" And then in my head, I was like, "Okay, I finished my homework. I didn't do anything wrong. I was never the kid to be picked out for like, I didn't do weird stuff." And then I was just joking around a bit, but I knew the limit. And then she took me aside and said, "Hey, is it right that you haven't been feeling 100% lately?" And I was like, "How did you notice? Like no one, my friends, my parents, no one has noticed yet, and you pointed out." And then and the thing that made me convinced of pushing through those 3 months and that got me kind of just the right amount of motivation was the fact that she, as a teacher out of the school system that I wasn't a fan of or that I wasn't feeling a part of, I didn't feel my spot in there. The fact that she said, "Okay, if you're gonna push those 3 months, if you graduate, cool, you have your certificate, leave, do your own stuff, but you always have the backup, but you're still gonna do your own stuff. If you don't graduate, I don't want to see you back here next year to retry. Then it is what it is. You're still gonna do your own stuff for at least a year, and you're just gonna go away without a certificate, whatever." The fact that someone out of the system I didn't feel home in supported me in not continuing within that system was like, okay, I like that was the right amount of support from the right person to like get me to push through. And in the end, I graduated pretty easily and still left. But like it wasn't about the intelligence or the grades or whatever. It was like, in the end, I graduated and everything was fine. So
Yeah.
Not that I do anything with it now, but
Yeah, no, true.
I have
You've
it.
got the backup,
Yeah.
man. And what did your surroundings said about your decision to just leave? I mean, that's a pretty decision, you know?
Yeah. My parents at first got pretty mad, like upset. They were. I said it to them at the dinner table after dinner, and I was like, "Yo, I think I don't want to study. I think I just want to do something else." But the thing is, I didn't have a plan. Nothing. Like I didn't know what. So, of course, as a parent, you're like, "Yeah, of course, you're gonna do something else." Like, and then I was like, "No, seriously. Like, I'm not gonna study." And they were like, Stop saying all this weird stuff. Like you have no plan. What are you gonna do then? So, and then they didn't really realize it, and I don't blame them because, like I said, I didn't have a plan. So which parent is gonna say, "Oh yeah, just do your thing, like, just don't study, just go somewhere without a backup, no plan"? Sure. But then my parents didn't know that I was in a depression yet, and when they found out about that, and they were like, "Okay, you didn't want to make that decision because you just don't want to study because someone online said it, but like 4 more years of college is going to like be scary it's going to be dangerous for your health." That's when they were my biggest support. From that moment, my parents are my biggest supporters. They were like, "Yep, you're going out there." We don't know. They didn't know what I was going to do, but they just knew that I was going out there with a vision, not to build up something. Everyone thought back home that I was going to be back in like 3-4 months, money run out, get back into the normal stuff, and realize it wasn't going to be anything, which they were wrong. But
Yeah. How did they find out that you were in the depression?
I don't know exactly. I think at one point I just like at one point there started being signs, and I started telling them that I really wasn't feeling well and that I had certain thoughts, and that I wasn't feeling like the place where I was my place to be, that I really wasn't feeling well in my environment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then you made a decision to leave to Bali.
Yeah.
And the first question is going to be why Bali, and the second question is you did it alone. How did it go?
Yeah. So why is one, because I have it's super complicated in the family, but we call him an uncle. He's based in Bali, or he lives in Bali. He's already older, that's why we went here on vacation in 2018, and that's how I first got to know the island, which gave me a really good feeling. So I was like, okay, I've been there before. I know that I feel well there, so let's go there. And I had I had the knowledge of my uncle of like, if I needed something, there was a contact person, or like, okay, I can, if I don't know how something works on the island, I can just ask, and I have someone who knows what to do.
Yeah.
And then how did it go is just in the first half a year, I lived all the way in the east of Bali in a small local village as the only white guy. But then I just started driving around. So I would go on like 3-4 trips or 3-4 days somewhere in the nature, stay in like guest houses or hostels, and then come back home mainly for laundry and then leave again. But I was living all the way in the east, which at that time was the perfect decision, because I was just on my own combined my own business, and I was only doing what I really loved and what felt good, since I wanted to get rid of the depression. So yeah, it went pretty well. It was, I think, the right decision to make, to not go into like a city or a place with a lot of other people.
Wasn't it lonely and scary?
It was, but I think that's exactly what I needed. Yeah, I think us as people, we think that we know ourselves, but a lot of people think they can be alone, but people don't realize that being alone is a skill you have to train, and it's one of the most valuable skills you can learn in this lifetime. But a lot of people think they can be alone because they can be in their room watching Netflix while the others are downstairs. That's not being alone. It's like one once you put someone really in a alone scenario, so many people realize they can't do it. And now it's one of the things that saves me in so many scenarios. When I want to go on a trip, when I want to do something, I know I've done stuff alone before. So now I'm like, the fact that I have to do it alone is never something that will stop me, which is such a good skill.
How did you first started to make money when you were here? Was it immediately content, or did you also do other things?
No, I didn't make money. That was I had from my job that I had in the Netherlands, like just a side job for besides school. I saved up like maybe I think I saved up like 6,000 euros. That's what I moved here with. But since I was living in the East, I was living super low cost. So my goal was basically to just make that 6,000 last as long as possible. So within that time of it lasting, I could figure out some way to make money, because that's the thing. I knew that I needed to get some sort of way to make money, because I needed to, before my money ran out, I needed some sort of foundation to like show my parents that I didn't have to go to college, but that I was working, that there was something, it didn't have to be a full business yet, but that there was some start of like, okay, I can do this instead of college. Like my parents supported me going there, but of course, if I come back without money and still no vision, it's hard to still say, okay, but you still don't have to study. It's like, so I needed something to convince myself and others, okay, I have something I'm working on, this can work. But I didn't. And then out of nowhere, without me actually wanting or aiming for it, my page kind of got the first followers. And then I was like, okay, here we go. But that was after half a year that I kind of got my first virals. And then I didn't start making any money for like the first couple months after, because it was all new and everything. I was getting to know other creators and whatever. So yeah, that was way later, everything.
Can you take us to the moment you sent your first invoice or made your euros?
Yeah, that was I think it wasn't even for my page. I think it wasn't even a deal through my page for like promotion. I think it was an app for like effects, to put effects on your videos, and they saw my videos online and they were like, okay, we're doing this campaign, we want to buy your clips. So they just really liked the aesthetics of the clips. It was just me running on the beach and stuff, but they wanted like high energy, happy clips. So they bought those clips from me, or like the rights to those clips, to use it in their in their ads. So that was, I think, the first invoice I sent, which was like, I think like 800 euros or something. But I was like, yo, this is
quite a lot.
Yeah, it was good, but it was also because I also had to add a like a 15-second intro of me talking about the app, which I didn't have to post or whatever, but they just needed a talking headshot of then the person in the clips.
Yeah.
So it was a full-on UGC. Back then, I didn't even know what UGC was, but apparently I'd landed my first UGC thing. And that was just a random email they sent me because they saw my videos. But yeah, that was the first invoice. And then after that, the partnerships, the invoice after that were partnerships.
Oh yeah. Where did you start a business, like tax-wise?
Now in the Netherlands still, unfortunately. Doesn't make sense, but because I'm paying tax for everything I don't use. But so I'm working on some things now to change that. But for now, I'm based in the Netherlands still.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm hopefully changing soon, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right.
You, the first videos were very bad, you say?
Yeah.
What made you continue posting videos even though like no one was watching?
I think that's the fact that I didn't do it to grow or for people to watch. I wasn't interested in. Of course, it felt good when a video hit like 5,000 views, 10,000 views. I was like, yo, my video is over 10K. But also because then it doesn't say the full number anymore, but it's like 10 point something. Yeah. I was like, yo, that's crazy. And there was a K out of nowhere behind the number. I was like, yo, that's sick. My first video. And I remember the first time that I was sitting in a cafe with a friend, and then for the first time my video hit over 10K, but I didn't know that yet. But I just saw back then I had the notifications on for all my likes and everything. And out of nowhere, after I posted the video, I saw like 70 notifications. I was like, yo, what? And they kept coming through. I was like, whoa, people are liking, like, whoa, my video is doing well, like, whoa. And in the end, the video had like 200 likes or something, but it looked like so much because it was like the notifications just kept on going. I was like, what? So of course it gives you that wow feeling, and it feels good, and it gives you extra motivation. But in the first couple of months, it was like I posted to show my to get rid of the depression and get that goal, but also just to show people at home what I was doing, since I didn't know what I was doing, but people at home were also interested in, okay, this guy left, but what's he doing there now? So yeah, it was. I think the fact that I didn't do it to grow or with a business perspective really, but really out of love and passion for the thing that I did, kept me going, which is, I think, in a lot of business, you guys will feel that as well. Probably that it's so hard to push through certain like phases of a business or project or whatever you work on if it's not somewhat your passion or you enjoy it. It's
definitely.
like, I feel like you can keep it up for maximum 3 months, and then you just break that. You can't keep it up on a high pace for more than 3 months.
Yep.
Then it's done.
True. What do you think that cured your depression? What aspect?
I think a lot of it is my surroundings. Your surroundings do so much more than you think. So it in the Netherlands. I don't want to talk only bad about the Netherlands, but like people are grumpy, man, and close-minded mostly. Like people are, not everyone's grumpy, but everyone's quite close-minded and quite stuck in the thought of what's normal. And what I always, how I see the world or see things is you don't have to agree with everyone, or you don't have to do anything with the info people give you, but you have to always be open to listen to them. And whether you take it or not, like people can tell you something, you take it in, you process it, and then after that, the next day or an hour later or even 10 seconds later, you just think within yourself, okay, I already thought something about this topic. Did the extra info that I just got, does that add to it? Does that confirm what I thought? Does it give me a different perspective that could also work, or that's also right? Or is it something that that's not going to work for me? But like people in Western culture, not only Netherlands, I feel like they're not even open to hear it. Like they're a lot of the times they're not even open to just listen to other perspectives because they think it's going to be like they think it's not for them anyways, which for me felt like I was like trapped a little bit, and also because in the Netherlands I was just surrounded by I was going to a school which was in a pretty good area, so then all of those kids had like parents with higher jobs, and they were going to like higher studies, and that was expected, and like, oh, you become a lawyer, we all know the story, the typical. And I just wasn't like that, so I wanted to go my own way. So it's really hard to stay positive and stay motivated in a surrounding like that. Yeah, and here there's just so many like-minded people, and everyone's so open. Like so many people can disagree with me here, but they will still listen to me, and then they can disagree with me after, but they'll respect that I open up, and they will listen to it, and they will genuinely take it in. But I don't know, it's a different culture.
Why do you think that you didn't fit in like the regular school system in the Netherlands?
I think because it's not personal enough. I feel like I think it's not personalized enough, which is also hard to fix since you can't build it on everyone specifically. But I felt like I was wasting time. And that's like, we were doing subjects, of course, that you already know you're maybe not going to do something with after. And of every subject, you still learn something. But still, it felt like the time that I needed to finish the work that I did in school was like, I was like, okay, I'm in school for like 8 hours a day, but what did I actually do here? And then I realized, I was like, yo, the work I did or the homework I did or the tasks I did, I could have done in like 1.5 hours at home, and then I would have 6.5 more hours to work on something I truly love. And whenever I thought about that, I was like, this is weird what we're doing here. Like for some people it might work because they don't know what they want to do yet, or they love to have tasks. Like that's why a lot of people think when I talk about stuff like this that I'm against school. I'm totally not against school. I think school is amazing. One of the hardest things to see is just when people waste possible talent. So like some people, they don't fit in because they're not people who need the task from others, and then they still go to school because they just don't know, because it's normal. But most of the people, that's why school is still a thing, most of the people need it. They need the guidance, and they need someone to tell them, okay, do this, and when you're done, come back, they get new tasks, boom. Which is perfectly fine, but if you're not a person like that, it's really hard to stay within that, because you have to go on the pace of the class or the pace of the group. Also in work after that, you always work on the pace with the team instead of your own pace, which in my case, I felt like I could grow way quicker in.
Yeah. I think in Bali, the school systems, like the Western school systems, at least that's what I heard, I'm not sure,
Yes.
are much more focused on entrepreneurship, since you have to as an outsider here. And they focus much more on sustain yourself than algebra and science.
What do you mean, the international schools here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. A lot of my friends here went to Green School,
Okay.
which is it's told to be the best international school here, and they're building more all over the world now. But from what I've heard, is exactly what you said. It's way more on teaching who we are, what we do, and way more from out of yourself instead of the subject. So it's like whenever you know who you are, how you think, the way you have to think or have to behave, you can adapt that to, you can use that on every subject instead of just learning the straight subject, and then you know the subject but you don't really know how to use it or why you're using it.
Yeah.
Which I think is a way better system. And I also think that, for example, in Denmark, I think the system is also, or just like Scandinavia, the system is also a bit better. I've heard that there, your grades are not based on one test, which it is in the Netherlands. Just boom, 3 months, or like what, a semester is like 3 months?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
3 months, boom, one test, and your whole semester depends on that one test. Which in Denmark, I think you get a test, which is a small percentage, and then you get one grade from your teacher that just like scores the amount of effort you put in. So because yes, there's different levels in school, but still within that level, there's so many different like levels within. So someone who's just a little bit less good at geography or whatever, and someone else is less good at math, but the better one has a higher score because he's just better at it, but puts barely effort in, and the one that's less good at math puts all his effort into it, but still gets only a 6. It's like he put in all the work. He deserves a higher grade. So like the grade is on effort there, which I think is pretty good. But yeah, it just, the whole system is just not for me.
I actually do have a question for you. Because you said that in the Netherlands you felt like people are not really open-minded for your opinion, or will judge very quick on what you say to them, and that you feel like people here are much more open and won't judge you that fast, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel the same?
I've only been here for like 3 weeks, but
in general in the Netherlands, do you feel like you get judged very fast?
yeah, but if I compare it to the bubble we're in here with the people we speak to here, I think people in the Netherlands judge way faster.
Yeah.
Like if I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't say so because I have nothing else to compare it to.
true.
But
But I
now
mean,
I've been here and I've spoken to people here. I think people here are way more open-minded.
I feel like also, of course, there's friend groups, or within the friend group, it will probably be, or within a certain circle, it will probably be fine, and it's not like it's not everyone, but overall. But then, whenever you go outside of that friend group, or you talk to a random 50-year-old who's already had life experience, then I don't know, you just notice that the openness is the mindset is different. Just a different mindset of how life should be lived, and what's normal and what you should do. Like in the Netherlands, I feel like it really quickly people find things weird, or is like, oh, why would you do that? Is like, it's like it's
The
you
nail
can't-
that
you can't-
sticks
yeah.
out gets hammered.
Yeah.
And it's hard because, and then it's hard to do something like what we do, because you can still do it, but the moment you do it, you will get weird looks.
Yeah,
And
true.
it's really hard to, especially in the beginning phase, to not like to have weird faces pointed at you once you start something, because you're going to question yourself right away.
True. Yeah.
Because if you have 100 followers and you start posting your first videos, you're going to question if they're good or not. If you get those weird faces, if you have 1 million followers, you don't care if you look weird making the video, because you have something to back it up. You can show, yeah, but bro, this is what I'm doing. Like, and then people, because you can show people that it's legit, then out of nowhere we don't have that embarrassment anymore, because it's like you have something to back it up, but that backup shouldn't be necessary.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no.
And here I feel like it's way less necessary to have that like status backup, because people will be way more. People don't give weird looks that easy, or that often, that quick.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Also, the what I said, that the people in the Netherlands are more easy to judge, more quick to judge. I think that's in general. I think in our friends group, people are more open-minded.
Yeah. Depends on. True.
But what do you think about it?
At first I was like, I'm not sure actually, but then after you explained a little, I could agree. I feel like it's more the bubble you're in, but since the Netherlands is all based on a system, a Western society system with the schools and the jobs, and I don't want to say the casual 9 to 5, but yes, the casual 9 to 5, which is not bad, but we just think a certain way. And if you want to do something that is risky, you want to do it on your own, or you want to create something for yourself, be careful. And people will have an opinion really fast, or put you in a box very fast. That's what a lot of guests in the podcast in Bali said. And I feel like those people who do want to something else, they move to Bali. So everyone here is just in that bubble, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just I feel like it's just way harder to find people within. If you want to do something out of the ordinary, if you want to find people who do something similar, to find the same people to support you, it's pretty hard to find them, since there is so many people just living the normal life. And like you said, if you decide to go on your own, in the Western culture, you are really on your own until you find those people. But for the most part, you're really on your own, because the moment you step away from the normal life, no one really supports you. Like, no system supports you. There's nothing backing that up or supporting it, and showing that it's good. It's like you have to figure everything out yourself. You're there alone. And here, some of our friends made some career switches, or they come up with a new project and they bring it up in the group. And the first thing people say is, okay, 1, sick that you're doing something new. 2, I know this and this and this person. Let me link you up right away. Like, boom.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
Right away, people think in solutions, in helping, in like. Here, if you decide to do something on your own, you're not on your own.
True. Yeah.
I also feel like that most people in the Netherlands who are like stuck in this school system, don't even realize that there is also a thing outside of that. They're so stuck in like the rat race, studying, getting to work,
I mean,
getting a good
they
job.
know, I feel like they know that there is, but it's just being looked at so like it's not being made of any appealing to do it. Like it's not being stimulated at all to do it. So I get that people. I get that people don't do it. If I wasn't in my depression, I would never have done it because it's not appealing. You're being looked at weird. You don't know if it's gonna work. You're behind on all the others because you've spent 4 years building something and then you have to go back into study if it doesn't work. So like there's all these negative things that are said about going your own way, where if you really go for it and you're really serious about it, it only brings positive things.
Yep.
Like yes, you have the stress of running your own business, but if you can live a life of freedom and do what you really love because of that, I'll take it any day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
How did you realize that it was like even a possibility to move to Bali and start your own thing? Did you see videos on the internet of other people doing it, or was it just a thing that popped into your mind when you went on vacation here?
Yeah, I don't actually know. I just knew that I needed to leave my environment, and then, or that I needed to leave all the like things that all my requirements back home, and like you have to do this and this and this, and you have to go there and there and there. And once I moved here, it was just like, okay, I don't have to do anything. No one's telling me to do anything. It's just me and my backpack. What do I need to do? I don't need anything. And I feel like that environment change is just, that's what pushed it. But I don't know. I had never seen, back then it wasn't that, or back then, talking like I'm old, 3 years ago. Come on now. But 3 years ago it was less popular. I feel like too. It's like the rise of remote work and digital nomads and the whole hype around Bali has been going crazy. I feel like then it was way less like that. There was already that culture here, but it was way less. It's been growing like insane.
Do you think that's good or bad?
Depends who you're talking for. For the entrepreneurs, amazing, sick community.
Yeah.
For the island, I don't know about it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's ruining a lot of things on the island. It's opening up a lot of beautiful things as well. It's like, as long as we keep it on this side, and there will always be pieces of real Bali left on the island, I'm okay with it. But
I don't think it's gonna happen, man. I think it's gonna explode.
Yeah, but it takes a while before it's like all over. But like the West Coast, we already lost the West Coast. The West Coast is from the Westerners now,
yeah.
which sucks, but it is what it is. As long as the East and the North and stuff are just, as long as we don't touch that too much, you can't stop it. So
Yeah, true. Like, but 1 year ago or 2 years ago, I stayed in Seminyak, close to
Yeah.
Denpasar, and I went to Canggu every now and then because the traffic was busy on Jalan Raya Canggu. But now it's fucking crazy, and
yeah. And no one goes to Kuta and Seminyak anymore that much. It's
true.
like 5 years ago, Kuta was the hotspot,
Yeah, I
but
know.
slowly the hotspot moves up the coast slowly.
True, yeah.
So it's already, Canggu is not like, already now most entrepreneurs or most people that actually like are based here, they all live in Pereiranan and Sessa, which is one district up again.
True.
So
it moves up. I
yeah.
think it goes further.
Yeah, Canggu is only tourist now.
Yeah.
Like it's barely anyone really lives in, or not barely anyone, but most of my community lives in Pereiranan, Sessa, and even the first one's already in Chamagi, which is one more up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And now they're starting to develop where like there's these new cafes. The cafes I went to this morning is in Kadungu, which is one more up. It's like just moving up the coast the whole time.
Yeah. They're also building a new city, right? Like, what's it called? It's in the north as well. Not Nusa Dua. Is it Nusa Dua?
No, Nusa Dua is the
island, right?
No, Nusa Dua is the east coast,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the east of the like below Denpasar.
It's above.
They're building. There have been plans about the new airport in the north a lot, which is I mean, the plans have been there for ages, but I don't know about it.
Also, metro system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, right before we
trains.
went here, I saw a post about plans for a metro system through the whole island.
Yeah,
I sent that to you.
It's
That's
fucked up, bro.
crazy, because then
Yeah.
it's so easy to get to the north that there it also will get populated.
yeah. I feel like maybe a train system between like Canggu and Ubud would fix a lot of Ubud, Denpasar, and Canggu would fix a lot of traffic that could, but then they need to make it free for locals because otherwise locals will still take the bikes and everything and tourists won't take the train that quick. I feel like because we're coming here to ride bikes. So,
Yeah.
but man, it's
Sad.
this island's always like the islands is the popularity of the island is outgrowing the development. Like
True.
they can't
Definitely,
keep up.
they can't keep up.
Yeah.
No, it's growing too fast.
Do you
Yeah, you can go.
do you feel responsible for that?
I personally don't, since I feel like I mean, in the slightest way, yes, a little bit, but for the most part, no, because I also, like, I don't live here as an outsider who comes to the island and treats it like an outsider, but I feel like since I've been here for a while, lived in the local village for a bit, like I treat it like I'm a local, like I live like a local, I live with the locals. A lot of my friends are locals, so it's. I feel like I'm kind of I am an outsider, but I've adjusted to it, and I do everything with the thought in the back of my mind of respect for the island and the locals first. So like whenever we do something, it's first we think about, okay, is it all right for the island or the respect, and then whether that's a yes or no, that's when the next step comes. But it's I feel like that should be number one for everyone, which it isn't for a lot of people, but it should be.
Yeah.
I think that's good that you always
Yeah.
like have that in the back of your mind.
100%. I feel like without if not another and if not enough people have that thought, it goes the wrong way even more, even quicker. We don't want that.
Do you speak already Bahasa?
Man, I hate this question, man, because no, and I should.
Apa kabar?
I should. Bye. No, I should, but man, I always have the same excuse, and it's I moved to the east, and I wanted to get a teacher and learn it pretty quick, but then I started moving around the island too much, and I didn't want to do it online. So then, but since I was not home for more than 3 days in a row every time, and then once I had the time to be home, or once I moved to Canggu, I started traveling internationally even more. So then my work back then, it wasn't called work when I was moving in the east, but like making the videos back then was still in Bali, but now it's over the world. So then it's like, it's so, I should. My local friends still call me out for it. They're like, oh, you still don't. But man,
All right.
maybe one day.
So be it.
It should be pretty easy to learn. It's a really easy language, grammar-wise, to learn. So I should stop making excuses and just learn it. To be honest.
Maybe you should, man. Maybe this is the wake-up call for you.
Exactly. Thanks, boys. I'll download Duolingo tomorrow.
True. Why tomorrow? Start today.
Oh man, let me get my phone.
I want to ask a question about the now. If you had to describe yourself back then and now,
In what way?
who was Cas Verdy? Is Verdy your last name?
Yeah, stage name, but yeah.
Okay. Let's just say Cas.
Yeah.
Who was Cas in 2018 and who are you now?
2018. That's a long time ago.
That's when it started, right? The depression.
No. That was when I went here on vacation.
Okay. When it started, when you were in the peak depression.
Depression was like 4 years ago.
Okay.
I feel like back then I was in, both Cases are really lost in their life. Me 3 years ago, super lost. Me right now, still super lost, but lost in a negative and a positive way. So I feel like in our life, we something's not right if you're not somewhat lost, or if you don't feel somewhat uncomfortable with where you are. But back then, it was a form of being lost that was in a negative way, where I just really didn't know what to do. And it was not because I had options, but it was just, I just didn't know what to do, and it was driving me crazy. Now I don't know what to do because I have so many options, and there's so many amazing opportunities. There's so many ways to go that all can have a great outcome. So it's I feel like that's the biggest difference. And the mindset is just, the mindset change is just crazy. Like back then I dreamt of having a mindset like I have now. I was already known as a positive person, and looking at things the positive way, but it's really hard in a world where positive thinking is not the regular in some cases. But now I can pretty confidently say that whatever situation I'm in, I just accept it, look at it from the bright side, and move on, move through it. So yeah, that's big changes. And I feel like now as well, what's a big change is community, which is one more, like one of the most important things in my and in general in life. That back then I had good friends, and they're still good friends of mine, but it's just hard to really level since they live life such a different way. So it's really fun also to see them when I'm back in the Netherlands, but it's a different type of have friends than I have here. Like there, it's like I either choose to work on my own stuff or I go out with friends and I do stuff. Here, it's all one thing. Like the other day, I went to the cinema, but then when we go to dinner, it's like we have this deep conversation about work, about relationships, about everything. But then at the cinema, at the movies, and the ride back, we just have fun. We play around. We make jokes, whatever. So it's like, because everyone here is building their own projects, the worlds collide, and I feel like that's the most amazing thing, when your passion, your work, and your friends, and the fun outside, everything collides. Because then those people really understand you. Like my friends back home understand me, but they don't really understand me in all cases. And my friends here, they really understand me because they're going through the same stuff. Not because they're all also content creators, but like they all have their own projects. They all have been through stuff. They all moved somewhat around. So yeah, we all have the same mindset, same thoughts, and we know what the other one is going through. And as much as you want to explain what you're going through to someone outside of our life, they can understand it, but they cannot feel it. Like
they cannot relate to it.
Yeah, they can't relate. Like they can understand it. They can give some sort of support, but they never actually relate to the feeling you're going through.
Yeah. What are some challenges that you're facing now?
Right now, I just decided to make some sort of switch, not career switch, but I was between doing social media and videography a lot, which you can do both, but I didn't know which was, if I wanted to be fully like social media, or if I wanted to do more behind the camera for like film for brands, film ads, more like professional cinematic stuff. I didn't know. And I was trying to figure that out, and I thought I figured it out because all my friends around me were really good videographers. Like I would say some of the best travel videographers are the closest friends around me. But because of that, I got kind of into that, and I thought that was my way to go as well. I was like, yo, that's sick. I want to go that way as well. I want to make these videos, and it felt amazing. And then last year I barely posted on my socials and only focused on videography. And I've noticed near the end of the year that I was working really hard on something that wasn't what I actually wanted to do. So I was kind of working really hard towards like canceling myself in my career, which I didn't see. And now I've realized that my passion is way more at making videos, reaching people, inspiring them, getting the feedback. Like, but I need that contact with people. I need the people, and I can't drop a cinematic piece and yes, you'll get someone to say, "Oh, that shot was sick," or "That transition, whoa, that was incredible." But like a travel edit or a cinematic piece can get 5 million views, and I'll be like, sick, 5 million views. But a personal video that I open up in and that has some sort of value that's less cinematic, that gets 10,000 views, can get me one message of someone that's like, "Yo, I'm going through stuff. This really helped me," or like, "You inspired me to do this and this." I'm like, "Yo, I would rather have that than those 5 million views," which for some people might sound weird, but that connection with people and that type of feedback, like being an inspiration and helping people open up their views and open up their mindset,
That gives
in the
fulfillment.
end, that's what in the end what I do it for. And all those friends of mine, they're real videographers. Like their cameras glued to their hand. Like they are videographers. They live like videographers. They breathe videography, and I love videography. I still do videography jobs here and there for brands, but it's not me. Like, I'm not just a videographer. I want to interact more.
Yeah.
So now I'm going way more on the social media side of stuff, which I think is a good switch. But it's a new build up again, since I want to do a little bit of a brand switch with getting away from travel a little bit, going a little bit more into lifestyle and mental health stuff, since I think I can give a lot of value there to people who are struggling.
Yeah.
And I get the most fulfillment out of that as well.
Yeah.
Again, like if I post something mentioning mental health and it gets a little bit like some views, and a travel edit with a couple million, I get a way better feeling with that mental health post just from the reactions I get.
Yeah. Yeah. I can understand, definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that you said that you were like, previously you were lost because you didn't know what you want in life, but now you're lost because there's just so much possibilities.
Yeah.
We actually yesterday we had a conversation about this where I told you that like since we were here, we're talking to so many people who do all sorts of different things, and there's like so many doors opening. You think, oh, this is possible, this is possible, this is possible, and I'm also like feeling a bit overwhelmed with like, what the hell do I want to do in life?
That's the scary thing about moving to Bali for the first time or coming here with not with the intention of vacation is that you're just gonna open. There's gonna be like 50 doors opening up, and you're gonna be, oh, that's cool. And then the day after, you meet someone in the gym, and you're like, whoa, but you do that, whoa.
Yeah,
that could also
like it's not possible, you know.
Yeah, exactly. People make it feel like it's possible because there's passion behind it, and it's crazy. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask, like, do you think that feeling of like being overwhelmed or being lost will ever go away?
I don't think so, since I mean, yes and no. It will go away, but it will come back. I feel like it will never fully go away, since we chose a life path in which we have uncertainties and we need to build and expand everything ourselves. So like the way that we do stuff, since we're not in a normal job or a normal life, no one has lived life like we do. And yes, there have been people who set up a remote business or whatever, but like the exact path you're walking through, no one has done yet. So there is no roadmap, there is no guidance. So there will always be you will always have countless of like opportunities or countless of choices to make when you start your own stuff. And in those you will feel lost, but I feel like also the getting out of that position of feeling lost, that's gonna go way quicker every time, because you just learn to pick one thing, fully focus. And a lot of the times people are scared to pick one thing, which I've been for the last month. I'm trying to get out of that right now. I've picked now, so like but whenever you have like 4 things, you just need to pick one of them, go all in. And maybe it's not the right one, but working really hard on something, even if it's the right thing, will get you to failure really quick. And a lot of people are scared of failure, but the fact that you failed that thing really quick means that one of the other 3 is up next and could be the one. So like, you're always gonna grow quicker if you just work really hard on one thing, even if it's the thing that brings you to failure, because otherwise you wouldn't have done anything, because then everything is 25%. You wake up in the morning, you're like, okay, what am I going to do? What do I need to work on? So many things, and you don't end up doing anything because there's just too much. You're just overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that you have to do. Where if you just pick one thing, you work really hard, you fail at it, fine. You worked really hard, you learned from it, you got a lot of lessons out of it, boom, next thing, cancel it out. Like, it's always better to know what you shouldn't be doing than not moving at all. Like, at least you're moving. And maybe you pick the right thing in the first place and it works out amazingly, bro, sick. Then it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just the not being scared of that failure. Like, people are scared to fail, but like, it's the other day my friend posted a story which said if you wanna get more success, you need to. It depends on how, or the amount of more success you get depends on how much you double your failure. Like, you need to double your failure if you want to double your success, because you're not just gonna work really hard and then double your success without getting that failure. Like, you need to fail 4 times more to get double the success, or like the fear of failing should be out of there, because in reality failure isn't a real thing. It's lessons, and it might feel like a setback or a failure, but it's never a real failure.
Yep.
As you said, there's a lot of uncertainty in your job. How do you cope with that uncertainty?
I feel like just try to look at it at the bright side the most. So, like, yes, there is uncertainty, but I don't know. It's a hard thing. I feel like just looking at it from the brightest side possible. So whenever, of course, you never know which project is next, or if a product you drop is going to do well or whatever. But regardless of that, just see that when it goes wrong, when it fails, it wasn't a fail. Boom. Now we move on. It's just looking at it as a lesson, as something you have to go through, as the cycle, and not seeing it as something to stop you. And then I feel like then the uncertainties kind of become something you want to chase instead of something that scares you off or that like holds you back. And it's hard, but I mean, man, it's the life we chose.
Yeah, true.
It's tough, but that's also the reason why we have the freedom. Like, if we didn't have uncertainties,
No
wouldn't
risk,
be
no
here.
reward, right?
Yeah, no one else is gonna give you this life, or no one else is gonna just. I mean, man, you need to be really lucky if that happens. But like, no one's gonna walk up to you and be like, "Yo, I got a job for you, couple grand a month here. Come work 2 hours a day for me, and we'll move to Bali together." Like,
No, true.
no one's gonna give you a 10-year contract for that, and you're locked, and you barely need to do anything for 10 years. It's not gonna happen. You need to face those uncertainties.
True.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions about this subject?
No, I don't.
Otherwise, I want to go back to.
How do you guys feel, by the way, in that? Because you guys still have like normal-ish jobs in the Netherlands with I would guess a little bit less uncertainty, or maybe than a full entrepreneurship. But how do you guys feel about that? Because you said you might want to switch it up, or
I am going to, but also I'm going to probably, well, it was the plan to have certainty in Berlin again.
Yeah.
But I've got a little bit of both, because for me it's not necessarily the certainty that keeps me stuck at a job, but it's more like if I like the job and it, then it's all fine. I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
If it's 9 to 5 but I like it and I get fulfilled from it, then it's all good.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about school as well. I don't hate school or 9 to 5s, because like for some people it's just the better choice, and it's just what fits them.
Yeah, true.
It's,
then
it's
the other
amazing.
side, like I like the combination, I would say, because now I'm working in psychiatry and I do it on a basis that I can schedule my appointments and I go to the appointments. I don't go to an office, so I can schedule everything, and it's really flexible. And for the rest, this is the podcast and my own brand, and I can do whatever I want. So the combination is great, but if it would be my own brand and I explore something within this, then it's also fine. And
Yeah, I get that. That's good. And it's nice that you have some sort of flexibility within the certainty. That's good.
True,
That's
it's gonna
amazing.
fall away, by the way, but yeah.
Still.
So be it. Now I have to. You know?
But like, as long as you do something you enjoy, then it's
all good. That's all that matters. I think.
yeah, exactly. And then the only thing that would kind of stimulate you wanting that uncertainty is growth in money. Then, because then it's like your own spot where you hire the people and where you like.
Yeah.
As long as that desire to grow a massive company or whatever is not there, then it's not there yet, or the timing's not there, then having the certainty within something you love is maybe even more amazing than having the uncertainty.
True, yeah, of course. Yeah. But the passion to also build something for myself is really big, and I really want to do it. So if it's both, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's better to focus on one thing. And if this is the thing, then I'll definitely go for it.
Exactly. And we're still young, so we can go everywhere.
Yeah.
So many ways to grow still.
Yeah, true. Question is now to you.
Yes. Well, I work part-time at a small consultancy firm. Although we've recently been acquired by a very big international consulting firm, we still got a lot of freedom. So that's nice. And I also learn a lot, and there's a lot of flexibility. So that's nice, and I also get fulfilled from it.
Yeah.
I like what I do.
That's amazing.
And also I'm a co-founder of a little startup where we sell sustainable products to hospitals. So yeah, that's my own company. So there's a lot of flexibility in that.
That's sick. That's fire.
But yeah, the plan is to pursue the podcast and my own company full time eventually. But yeah, selling to hospitals is just very difficult, and designing your own product, starting your own production line. There's a lot of work going into that.
I can imagine there being a lot of requirements for what product you're selling is going to be around in a hospital. It's like
if I would do it again, I wouldn't choose this market. But I like what I do, because we're trying to make the world a better place. We're trying to make an actual impact. So I get fulfilled from that, and I like what I do. And I lost where I was trying to go. There's like a very long run time before you can earn an income from that. So that's why I still have like the part-time job in consulting. Nice. And the same is for the podcast. It's very difficult to earn money from a podcast. But now we're getting like the ball rolling, and we started attracting the first sponsors. So
amazing.
I hope
you guys did it quicker than my
soon
content.
we can. I hope soon we can pursue it full time.
Yeah, I hope so too. But we've been doing this for 3 years, more than 3 years.
Didn't say anything. But daily though?
No.
Huh?
Yeah.
But episodes every day?
No, every week.
Fair.
Week.
Yeah. But we started out with episodes every 2 weeks, and then like having a pause in between seasons. But now we're just like pushing out episodes every week.
That's so cool. I want to start my own podcast maybe as well, but it's man, I've been postponing it because it's one of those projects, one of those 4, 5, 6 projects that's up there. It's not priority right now, and like I said earlier, I need to tell myself, boom, one thing first, see if it succeeds or fails. So that's I have 1, 2 other things I'm going all in on now, and then maybe the podcast is in the future. But
if you need any help, just reach out.
There we go. That's the Bali effect, eh? No, that's amazing. Appreciate that.
I want to go back to something else, because I've read on I think it was on your Instagram that you've been struggling with alcohol also.
No. I've not been struggling with it. I was never a big drinker. I just stopped drinking now. I decided to go through life without.
I've misinterpreted that.
No.
Why did you stop drinking?
Multiple reasons. There was as I said, I was never a big drinker, but then when I moved to Bali and everything started getting more serious with the content, I started taking it more serious. So I wanted to work every day. Or I needed to, not needed to, but I pushed myself to work every day. And with that, I didn't want to have hangovers anymore because then it would take away 30% of my day the next day. Didn't want that. I wanted to be able to give a full 100%, no like hangover recovery days. If I was sick, I can't do anything about it, but I didn't want to force recovery days. So I stopped because of that. Then also, I didn't need it anymore. Like I don't need it to have fun. I would say I'm a pretty fun guy to be around. So then, like when I'm at parties or whatever, I can get through it without. Most of the times I'm more on the dance floor than my friends who have alcohol. So it's, and I just like drinks without alcohol the same or maybe even more than with. Cocktails you can leave it out. And I like an iced tea more than a beer. So the taste. I didn't see why. And then I have thought about the only drink that I did that I was like, okay, I don't know if I'll let that one fully go is wine, because that I feel like that adds to a meal. So like whenever you have a good pasta, a good piece of meat, it's like it adds something to the meal. It's not just drink for the drink. But then I said to myself, okay, I'm either gonna fully not drink or allow a couple drinks sometimes. And then I just said no, because I was just coming out of the depression, still like fully figuring out my life, since I still didn't have anything, just a couple followers, but I didn't have any base. So I just said, okay, I'm saying no to myself every time. And then every time alcohol came up in a night or whatever, and I said no, I won the mental battle with myself. So saying no and staying fully sober really helped for me as on my mental strength, because I was winning the mental battle with myself every time. And not because I craved alcohol so much, but because I consistently said no to a certain thing, even though the peer pressure fully said yes and wanted me to drink. I still have been able to say no. So now it's been just over 2 years. It's been sober since I'm 19.
Crazy.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you feel a big difference?
I feel like others would. I feel like I personally don't that much, since I wasn't never that big of a drinker. So even on nights out, in the Netherlands I would drink a little bit more, but on nights out here I would drink maybe 3-4 drinks. So that like I feel like it's not enough to really feel a difference, except from you just don't feel shitty anymore. You just don't feel. And the thing that does feel really good is now that you don't have to think about, like whenever you go somewhere, the whole alcohol section is out. So it's like, it's a lot of less thinking about, okay, but tomorrow, do I take one more? Do I want to drink tonight? It's just like, you don't have to consider all that stuff anymore and fit it into your life. See if you see what you're going to do. It's just like, no, I don't drink. Give me an iced tea. Give me a water.
Yeah. True.
And like, man, nothing beats a cold glass of water or a cold coconut. Like, no alcohol's ever gonna beat that, especially after a workout or whatever.
Yeah, no, true.
Nothing's gonna beat a cold non-alcoholic. Whoa, English? Non-alcoholic drink.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Although I think in some situations, like you said, like in Italy with the fucking nice scenery and a pasta. Red wine, I mean,
That's the only thing that I was like, oh man, that would be really, really nice if we're going like skiing and you're on the top of the mountain and it's like cold environment, a nice red wine with the meal. Oh man, but it is what it is. Like the fact that I can say no in those times, even that is what kept me really strong. And especially when now my friends here, they know that they don't know that I don't drink, and here it's again a way more open mindset and way quicker like acceptance that they know that I don't drink, so they won't even offer it. They will, like when they go to the bar, they will bring a water back for me because they just like they know, okay, he doesn't want a beer, so I don't. But like they'll be there for me right away. Where in the Netherlands, I feel like in a lot of friend groups, if you say that you are not going to drink anymore, the first couple of times they'll still be like, but one beer, but just do the shot, or they'll still kind of try, but it's of course in normal friend groups they won't. In like if you're in a good friend group and they're really your friends, they will accept it right away. But outside of that, the people will be like, God come on, like why do you don't drink? And I go out, or I barely go out, but I come places and they're like, oh, you want a beer? I'm like, no, I don't drink, so just I'll take something else. And then they're like, oh shit, you don't drink? Sick. Like, why did you stop? Like right away, they're
interested.
It's that acceptance again.
Yeah.
True.
Right away, they don't go against my decision or try to switch it or get me to their side. Right away, it's like, oh shit, you made that decision? Sick.
That's good for you.
Like right away, and it's And most of the times people don't even notice it. Since like I said, if I ever go to a party, which I barely don't, but if I do, I'm on the front of the DJ deck dancing the whole night, man. Like people don't notice. They ask me like, what are you on? Like, what did you have? What type of drugs do you have? Bro, I'm just high on life, man. I don't have anything. I don't need it. It's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
But Iraq is also nice nowadays.
We wanted to get the full local experience, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, everyone should once.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Everyone should get the local experience once. I've had my time.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you can say you tried.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of other like travel influencers, if I can call you a travel influencer.
You may.
And there's a lot of people who are trying to be one. How do you think your content stands out from the rest? Why do people engage so much with your content?
I feel like back in the day, it was because there was less people around. So back then, we would make travel edits and our whole friend group would kind of jump on the same trend, but we would be the ones to start the trend. So so like we started a lot of trends with my friend group, and we a lot of big ones that probably people that listen to this have probably seen on their feed, but people don't know that me and my friend group were the first ones to jump on it or create it. So back then, the content was way less personal, but still, we were like the main travelers, or mainly my friends, and I got kind of drifted into that because they were already bigger. I grew into it, and now I feel like it's social media is changing a lot. It's going way more towards personal stories, especially with the upcoming of AI. Almost all content can be copied, especially in like in half a year maybe. Everything can be copied with a 30-second prompt. So the only thing that AI or others can't do or can't copy is AI can't copy emotions. It can't feel human emotions. So that's the one thing that you can stand out with. And the thing that you can stand out with is to others is personal stories, just feelings, making it relatable, sharing your experience, because no one experienced that thing like you. Even if you do a super touristy thing that hundreds of thousands have done before, no one will see it like you do, because you look at things with your past, with the things that you went through and that you've experienced in the past. You look at, even if you go to Italy and you go to an old historic building, you have a different story with that, a different connection with that building than someone else, because your grandpa might have told you about the times that he was like, you know, it's so sharing that is the one thing that's valuable and that's working right now. Is the only thing that can work, because everything can be copied. And like you said, there's a lot of travel influencers coming up and trying to become one. Back in the day, it wasn't like that. It was I became one without me aiming for it.
Yep.
But now there's people moving to Bali just to be able to connect with guys like me and shoot with guys like me, and they're posting just for the sake of getting those views, getting those followers, and then they're like, "Why is this not working? You're making the same stuff everyone's making. Like, it's not
authentic."
Yeah, the trends get you views, but they don't get you followers anymore.
Yeah,
it's not the way to grow nowadays.
Yeah,
and that's something I'm slowly shifting into as well. Like, I still post trends and whatever, but then with a personal touch, with something that relates to my life and my followers know relates to my life. But I'm trying to get way more into the storytelling, talking to the camera, sharing my perspective on things instead of just following the thing that's already going on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I feel like it can only work out positive, since once you share your opinion, a lot of people are scared to do it, because a lot of people are scared to be controversial or say something about a topic, because then they're like, oh, but what if this brand sees it, doesn't want to work with me anymore? What if people see it? What if most of my followers don't agree with me? But it shouldn't matter, since if you post a video with sharing your opinion, your thoughts, there's going to be people that react positive to it. Perfect. Amazing. They follow you. Boom, you got them, because they relate to you. They feel like they know you. They feel like you're going through the same stuff. Amazing. New followers. There's also going to be people that hate, but haters are even more loyal followers than lovers. It's that haters follow you on, they want to see everything, because they want to see a spot to hate on everywhere. So haters give you even more engagement than positive. So you see that all the people that are really big online, except from models and all that, are people who just speak up, and they get in the news because people love them, people hate them.
Yeah.
There's people, they get people to talk.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Yeah.
And you're not gonna get people to mention you at, like, if the boys are going for a hangout somewhere, like a random friend group, they're not gonna mention your name in a conversation they're having if you didn't say anything that some of them might disagree with. Like you have to come up, you have to say your stuff, because there is gonna be people that agree and disagree, but then you become the talk of the town, and that's how your name gets well known.
Yeah.
What message do you hope people take away from your content?
I think the biggest message is, no matter how low you feel, or no matter how far away something looks, it's as long as it's your passion, it's always worth chasing, and it's always going to work out. It might take a while, but it's just such a waste if wasted talent is one of the things I hate the most to see, because it's like some people are so talented, but they're just too scared to chase it. And they miss out on so much, and on so much joy, not only business-wise or success, but so much joy, because they could have freedom within the thing they like the most, but they're just too scared to chase it. And it doesn't affect me, but I just hate to see it for them. I just hate to see someone with so much potential. Like, wasted potential it sucks. It's like they're just waiting for someone or something to give them that opportunity, but it's not gonna just get in there.
True. Have you listened to the motivational speech or the graduation speech of Denzel Washington, by any chance?
No, I haven't yet.
You should.
Yeah,
He talks a lot about wasted talent. Like, if you're laying on your deathbed and their talents are standing around your bed, like what you could have done, you know.
Yeah.
Well, he's really good with words, but it's really an interesting one to listen to.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's always the I could have, but
yeah, exactly.
And most of the people that took that step and went 100%, they've actually managed to make it work and do it. And the ones that didn't, they didn't give 100%, because I don't believe, there's no way that if you put half a year, 4 months, half a year, your full potential into one thing, into a passion, there's no way you walk out with nothing. Like, no way it's not gonna grow somewhat, or it's gonna, like, anything you put 6 months of work in fully, it is gonna grow out to something that you can build on, like everything.
Yeah.
And even things that you don't know were available as business, like some people have a passion or a hobby, and they're like, oh yeah, but how do I make this my business, or how can I earn money with this? You can start a business in anything. Like, the fact that that's your hobby, there's 8 billion people on this earth. You are not the only one with those struggles, with that life, with that, or with those, like, things happening, or those thoughts. Like, there's hundreds of people out there. You just need to manage to reach them. Yeah. But, like, yeah, anything you think about, anything you struggle with, anything anything people can relate to, and even maybe even the normal life, you have more people to relate to you than the life we live. So it's, yeah, there's possibilities in everything. You just need to look for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's what also people who don't have the money to fully travel, or they don't want to, or they're scared to travel or whatever, but they want to be creators. And then I say, okay, start making videos. They're like, about what? Like, I have a boring life. You don't have a boring life. You just don't see the things that you can film. Like, there's so many people. They're like, oh, I have a boring life. What do I tell? What's interesting? And then, like I said earlier, they live a life that millions of more people can relate to than my life. Yeah. My life, people maybe look up to, like, okay, I want to work towards that. You have a life that already people can relate to so much, since most of the people are in that. So if you are just the one to point out those struggles in a funny way, if you're like, something in the household goes a certain way and you point it out in a funny way, people will be like, oh shit, he
has the same.
He also has that. Like, and then they will go to the comments and they'll see the comments full with people saying, oh my God, does your mom also do this? Or does this also work like this between you and your sister? It's like, there's so many people that can relate to it. You just need to put it in a funny format or a nice format, and boom, you have people that can relate with you.
I think Daniel Dahl is a great example of this, because he just films himself sitting behind the desk working, and people watch it. So he also says, like, filming the making the boring stuff look interesting. He just like films the boring stuff, and people relate to him working, and yeah.
He's a master in personal branding, and
yeah,
there's a reason he's that big, and also that he's man. I mean, I can't say anything about it. He's outplayed it. Like, he's outplayed the game.
It also sounds like you genuinely care for your audience, which also aligns with, like, the authenticity and the emotion with which you want to differentiate yourself. So I think that's great that all aligns.
Yeah, and it's. I was having a conversation about this the other day with my friends. It holds me back business-wise a lot, and sometimes it gives me a little bit of more stress, but like career stress, financial stress, whatever. But because I don't take on certain deals that are pretty good money, just because I don't fully align with the brand. But I feel like it's. I don't even think my followers would care that much, because in the end they decide if they purchase the product or whatever. But it's. I just wouldn't feel good after I post a video like that, and I don't want to have that feeling of being like, okay, it is a good product, but do I fully align with it? No, 70%, but like, I'll post it, and I wouldn't feel good putting it out there. Although the decision is not for me to make, to whatever they do with the video. I'm just basically a spot on a creator's Instagram. Is just an ad slot you pay for, just like TV. But it's still, since there's a personal touch to it, it doesn't feel right. So I kind of shoot myself in the foot there a lot of the times. But
I think it may be business-wise, it holds you back on the short term. But I think on the long term, it's way better.
We'll see.
Because you stay authentic.
Yeah.
And I think that's what brands are looking for.
Yeah. Who knows? I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
You also said that like you've made more of a career choice in the last month. What's the next step for you?
The next step kind of starts in 2 days. It's I'm going out of Canggu for a little bit. I'm totally not a city person, but Canggu is just like the community is here, everything's here. But I'm not a city person at all, so I'm going back to the east of Bali for a little bit. East, north, more nature, recording like more videos that I actually want to record, talking into the camera more, and talking straight directly to people more. So the next thing is just that video change there, where instead of filming how beautiful Bali is or how beautiful any country is, I'm gonna talk more into the camera and just tell people what we've been saying here. Like, you are able to also come out here and do it. Or like, I just want to share my thoughts with people. I don't have like direct examples, but whenever I'm driving somewhere, I'll get something in my head, a thought of like, or whenever I'm having a conversation in the next 2 weeks, I'll get a trigger of like, okay, right, this is something I want to talk about. Or I'll see something on social media of someone complaining about anything, and I'll be like, no, but that's just a mindset thing. And I'll make a video about it, talking to the camera more. Like, that's what I want to do more, be more personal. And then there's some personal digital products coming as well, which I've told myself I was going to make for so long, but that was one of those things again that never did it. But now it climbed on the ladder of priorities. So.
It's finally there.
Yeah.
Nice. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add, or should we go to the final question?
I think let's go to the final question. You can ask it.
Do you have any final piece of advice for the listener?
I think I said it earlier already. If you have any sort of feeling you want to do something, or you want to chase something, you want to do something different, that you don't belong where you are now, don't be scared to share it with your surroundings, because people are always, that's how people are. If they're good people, they're always ready to help more than hate on you. So it might feel like a big step to tell someone that you want to do something weird or out of the ordinary, but they will always find ways to support and chase it. Just go for it, because it's, like we said, wasted talent is wasted potential is your biggest enemy. Like, it's the fear of failure is like, all of these things, they come down to the same thing, and it's just that once you feel something, you have that passion. Why not do something with it? Because apparently you are really passionate and you could be really good at something. So why let the world lose out on your talent, on your passion? Like, people need you, but you just don't know it yet.
Nice. Beautifully said. Where can people find you?
For now, mostly Instagram, Cas Verdy, Cas.Verdy, and hopefully soon in a podcast.
Nice, man.
Nice. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you guys for having me.
And I would say, stay inspired, motivated, and focused on your goals. Thanks for listening to Muscle Up, and see you in the next episode.